Welcome to Entrepreneur Opportunity in Action, Building Businesses with Entrepreneurs. I'm Sharon Reynolds, CEO and founder of DevMar Manufacturing, a proud board director with the Women Business Collaborative, and co-founder of Entrepreneurs of Purpose alongside Edie Frazier. It is an honor to moderate this important conversation on building entrepreneurial relationships. Today, we'll explore how corporations and entrepreneurs are reimagining their collaborations, moving toward long-term value-driven partnerships. Dr. Felicia Phillips, how can entrepreneurs identify and showcase their value proposition when approaching larger corporations for supplier partnerships? And how do you think this landscape has changed?
So, couple questions there, and thank you for having me on the platform today, Sharon. Excited to be here with you. And I will tell you that over 15 years of working with supplier diversity professionals and corporations, there are a few things. One is having that compelling value proposition is so important. I think the challenge for some businesses is truly articulating their value in a way that corporations see that this is what I need right now in my supply chain to solve the challenges that I am faced with. And a lot of that comes from understanding your past performance. And sometimes as entrepreneurs, we need different pitches depending on who we're talking to. And for a lot of us, that doesn't come so easy. And so I think it starts with understanding what it is that you offer and why it's important to the corporation. But also in this during this time, we need to also understand that goals have shifted, things have changed, but the work is still there. Right. And so when we go in to talk to corporations, we have to have that clear value proposition that they can resonate and say, this is for us. This is the type of supplier we want to build a relationship with, because you don't want to be just another supplier. You want to be a strategic partner to that organization.
What I would add for us, what we've found, because we are predominantly in the government, even though we're working to expand outside the government, we are in the government and we own that. So what I found recently with all the changes, with all the cuts, one of the things that's become really important is not your set asides. It's what vehicles do you have to offer to a larger organization. So for us right now, that's what we're working really hard on is presenting these different contract vehicles that we have access to that the larger companies do not have access to.
I think that's the value that WBC offers. I'm in the trucking industry, warehousing, and it's a blue collar industry. And what we're seeing is, as Dr. Phillips said, you have to have a unique value proposition. We need to know our clients and our potential corporate clients. We need to know what their logistic pain points are. We need to make their life easier. We need to be a key support system for their supply chain functionality. And that comes through what we offer and what separates us, because the landscape has changed. You're right.
Yes.
It's just not, no one is going to hire Telecom Transport because they're women owned. They're going to hire us because we offer key solutions, turnkey solutions. It comes down to our safety record, case studies, compliance, and reliability.
No matter what industry you're in. 2020 or COVID taught us a lot about the challenges that face supply chain. And I think that one thing that we had to really strategically think about is how do we bring onshore where we can actually meet the demands of our own industry so that there's not those bottlenecks. But beyond the reality of social and economic shifts, we have situations of increase in tariff depending on how you source your material globally. For us, what we intentionally look at is the ability to vertically integrate through strategic partnerships to help satisfy the demand in supply chain. And that's across the board. If we essentially the success of long-term sustainability of any of our businesses, I feel like moving forward, that's very critical. That means how am I able to facilitate the needs of my corporate partners, meaning that I need to understand what they're looking for beyond just the product or the business model that I operate in. How does what I do satisfy the demand of my partners to build a strategic partnership?
Thank you. Strategic partnerships in the supply chain couldn't be more important than it is today. So thank you for sharing that, Sharina. Dr. Barbara Brown.
Yes, I am thrilled to have mental health be part of the conversation because in corporations, it's finally time that people are recognizing that mental health is essential for the well being of workers. And people first is the new philosophy because we know how much it drives innovation, uh, productivity, as well as retention. And those things are so important. So, mental health is a strategic must in corporate America at this point. And so, to that end, it's not cookie cutter programs, it's really meeting and understanding each company and what their challenges are, and then how to help their workforce meet those challenges in a way that um, is good for their well-being in the long run and is sustainable. And so I'm thrilled to be here. I can talk about mental health all the time.
Thank you, Dr. Brown. Dr. Phillips, tell us about what your thoughts are when you think of the role that technology platforms and digital marketplaces play in connecting diverse suppliers with corporate opportunities in 2025 and beyond. And how can entrepreneurs effectively leverage these tools?
So it's interesting. We have these B2B digital marketplace tools out here that are bridging the gap between us as small business owners and corporate procurement. And so when you think of platforms like Supplier, they help corporations to really vet those small businesses to make sure that they're a match, right? And so they're tracking things like your certification and really looking at, are you running an efficient business? But then when you think about it from our standpoint as small business owners, it's still about the relationship, right? The digital marketplace and having these platforms is great, right? If you are just trying to query the type of business that you're looking for, and do they check all the boxes as far as the certification, the revenue, the past performance? But the relationship still has to be built. And so when you think about real time analytics, yes, these are great platforms. But what we know for sure is that relationships still matter. It is those relationships that get you on the contracts, that help you to move your business forward. And so while we acknowledge that we have to go through these platforms, we still have to build the relationship.
So the government side is a little different because, people tell you get set asides, build partnerships, do all these things. And I always say the great thing about the government side is you can still just bid on work and win work. We don't talk about that often. I often tell people you can do all these things, but it's a both and.
Mhm.
The best way to win a contract is to bid on a contract. And you have that opportunity in the government in spades. I don't think that it really exists as much in on the commercial side. I feel like on the commercial side, and I'm new to transition into that side, but from what I see, it's exactly what Dr. Phillips said. You can be on all the platforms. Your stuff can be very clean on all the platforms. You can have all your certifications updated, and you can still end up, because you don't have the right relationships, not infiltrating that space. On the government side, you do need relationships. The relationships are very helpful, but I do think that there is it's wide open.
Mhm.
The opportunities that you can win at
Mm-hmm.
just by bidding on contracts. So I do think, and I do think that's a place where we forget to talk to people about. I mean, as small business owners, we come into business, people tell you out the gate, you need your certifications. People need to know you're woman owned. They need to know this. They need to do all these things, but they forget to tell you that there are whole lots of different platforms on the government side where you just go in and you bid. And I would submit to you that where we are with this administration and all the changes that were made and all the things moving, I don't think that contracting officers have time to wire everything. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think there are enough people working on these opportunities. People need to get work done right now. They're
Mm-hmm.
putting stuff on the street and they're like two and three people bidding on it, and really you're only competing against these small groups. And the reason why is because as small businesses, we don't really have the bandwidth. Like most of us don't have this endless proposal capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So even though a lot of us see great things that we want to propose, that is a very hard thing to find, like capacity in the proposal writing area. So
Sure, sure.
the platforms are great. Relationships are still important. And don't forget, you can just bid on contracts. There are lots of portals out there that offer that put these things out on a daily basis.
Thank you, Deidre. I'm going to switch it up a little bit, and I would like for each of you to respond to this question. Give me about just a minute on it. I'll start with Sharina. Okay, Sharina, what is one concrete action you believe companies or entrepreneurs should take in the next 12 months to build a more inclusive, resilient, and high impact supplier partnership?
So within the 12 months of developing any new innovative material, it's how agile are you to pivoting despite having a true north that exists in your business model. So identifying key strategic partners that have a significant presence in the marketplace was vital to as we chose to carry it out, whether that partner was in manufacturing, whether that partners was in sales, or whether that partner was a farmer grower. So that is important to us. I think if I were to say, that's a loaded way to say, I think that really identifying what the supply chain looks like, breaking it down. So if I'm an entrepreneur and I'm delivering a new product to market, I need to effectively analyze supply chain.
Thank you so much. Sue, what would you say to that?
The next 12 months, what we're going to do to have more high impact supplier relationships and partnerships. I always believe that you cannot scale in isolation. And we lead by example here at Telecom Transport. We have woman owned and minority owned businesses helping us in our own vendor supply chain, HR, payroll, public relations, OSHA compliance. These women in minority owned businesses, which I consider part of the partnerships that help me free up my time, I have more resources to focus on growth and scaling. So to me, it's the focus on partnerships, not transactions, because when you have the correct partnerships, everything seems to fall in place. It sounds cliche,
Mm-hmm.
but this what it works, and I need the support from other women business owners to help me soar.
Thank you, Sue. Incredible. Dr. Brown.
Yes. I will say something similar in that I think studying the trends in the industry that you're consulting with, and also being able to be agile as things move and change. And especially in the world of AI and technology, things are shifting all the time. And I do think that technology is an important ally in the service delivery. I personally have an AI product that I'm working on that helps more the practitioners, and then I consult on a technology that is helpful for employees and their well-being. And so integrating those things are very important. So what you were saying also, Sue, about collaboration, it's like whatever the needs are, that you're seeing, there are other people that you can partner with if you don't have it particularly within yourself, or you don't have the capacity to fill it. Collaboration with other companies that are, like-minded and value-driven and purpose-driven, so to speak, is really important to get the jobs done and to do it in an integrated and ethical and professional manner.
And I want to thank each one of our guests today. It's been amazing hearing your insights and looking forward to what's ahead.